For my visual arts element, I decided to look at the process of creating artworks, the making stage. All three of my artworks followed the same process, beginning with light, detailless color to indicate different shapes and objects, followed by going over the top of that to add more detail, and then adding even more detail to create the final works. I used drawing, screen printing, and painting to demonstrate this process. All of my artworks looked at the subject matter of nature, with all of them including water of some form. In all of my artworks, the element of line was used. In my drawing, the lines were much more prominent to distinguish particular objects, whereas in my screen print and painting, the lines were less prominent to mesh the design together. I enjoyed learning about the process in which an artwork is created, from the beginning stages of indicating objects in certain places to the end product of a detailed artwork. For the music aspect of this video, I participated in the music workshop at Western Sydney University. One of the sections of the workshop looked at graphic notation. In this section, I used percussion instruments to interpret some graphic notation. I worked with a friend to perform the following piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one.
I'll do 3. I'll do 4.
In the following video, I can be seen interpreting and performing a graphic notation on a glockenspiel.
We never know what we're doing, Rachel. It's okay.
In the next section of the workshop, a group of us went away to look at different composition apps. I used Note Flight to fiddle around and attempt to compose a simple piece of music. As you will hear in the following sound clip, the first part of my composition sounded pleasant. I then went on to enjoy listening to the different sounds that I could make by adding lots of different clashing notes together. I enjoyed using Note Flight to compose the music as it was easy to use and allowed for different levels of composition knowledge. Next, we worked in small groups to perform music written in graphic notation, and then composed our own pieces using graphic notation and percussion instruments. The first video is our performance of the pre-written graphic notation, and the second video is of our own composition.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good job, kiddies. Okay, now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I knew better, so you put extras in there.
The final component of the workshop was choir work. We learnt the song, Shake the Papaya Down, by using a call and response technique in which the teacher would sing one line and the students would repeat that line so we could easily learn the song. We then used a canon or round technique to perform the song at the end of the day.
Juicy papaya, yes I do. Juicy papaya, yes I do. If you will help me, I'll help you. If you will help me, I'll help you. Shake the papaya down. Shake the papaya down. All right, let's sing it all the way through.
I chose dance as my final art form, specifically focusing on Zumba. The Zumba dance style incorporates the dynamics and space elements of dance. Dynamics were used throughout all of the Zumba dances I performed. Sharp, sudden movements were used largely by my arms, whereas smooth movements were used by my hips and body. All movements were strong and required a lot of physical energy. Space was used in relation to levels in the Zumba dances I performed. There was a lot of transitioning from high to low levels and then back up to high levels in order to work on the muscles, as Zumba is a fitness dance.
I got that hit to beat the block, then you get that bass on below. I got that rock and roll, that future flow, that digital spit, next level visual shit. I got that boom, I beat that. I like that boom boom pow, them chickens jacking my style. They try to copy my swagger, I'm on that next shit now. I sold 3008, you sold 2008. I got that boom boom boom, that future boom boom boom. Let me get in that boom boom boom. Gotta get 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 that boom boom boom. Yeah, boom boom boom. Yeah, boom boom boom. I'm on that supersonic boom. Gotta hear that spaceship. When I step inside the room, then girls go ape shit. Y'all stuck on super 8 shit. That low hot super 8. I'm on that HD crack. Cause we go boom boom back. I'm a beast from the turn. Into the future, Cybertron. Harder, faster, faster. Text some ladies, extra long. Cause we gotta be that band. We gotta be that band. We gotta be that AO. We got boom boom in your town. Here we go, satellite radio. Y'all get hit with the boom boom. Beat so big, I'm stepping on the record. She on yo with the boom boom. She on yo with the boom boom. She on yo with the boom. This beat be bumping, bumping. This beat go boom boom.
Through engaging with these art forms, I addressed many of the AITSL standards. The one I focused on the most was Standard 2.1, Content and Teaching Strategies of the Teaching Area. By learning about visual arts, music, and dance, I deepened my knowledge of the content of these art forms. Having this deeper knowledge will allow me to implement appropriate teaching strategies in the classroom for for my future students.